Hello once again. This is Chris Crooks, CEO of Rogueware and lead designer of the game FreeHolder, and I'm welcoming you to another edition of our Let's Play series. This is for the Alpha 3. And there are a bevy of new features that I'd like to show you, and frankly there's not a lot of time for this, so I've given myself a little boost, as you can see on the right here, with a bunch of resources which I will be using to build many things to show you, and also I have these beans to backstop because I can't really be bothered to collect food a lot of the time. Save some time. So let's start off here. I'm going to actually take an initiate, and I don't know, name Arwen appeals to me for some reason right now. So just as a side note, I actually added a new skill for every class except the initiate, who already has 6 skills, although some of them aren't working right now. I'm going to take Claromancy just because it's straightforward. So one of the main things that I've added is basically upgrades of every one of your villa buildings, and I'll show you about that. So you go into your villa here. As before, the dormitorium, it has very limited functionality now. There's actually 2 things you can do there now. Spencer, don't even worry about that. The other ones, right, you have the cooling. I've talked about this before. You can cook soup here, but now also this is available. You can upgrade your Kulina to a better one, in this case the country cookhouse. Although it says 3, it's actually 2 times each month because the first one is only 1. But the nice thing about the country cookhouse, and I might as well build it now because I'm talking about it. It takes 2 actions, and there's some stuff here in the mountain, so let's claim and see what I get. Oh, very nice. R1 comes across an abandoned cart on one of the mountain slopes. Inside one of the bags is a double weave shawl, which is show put on right now. Yeah. Resist cold and resist fatigue. Very, very handy, and normally can only be made by tailor, so it's a good find. It's storming, which means there's a slight chance that something that I plant will be hurt. So I'm going to plant something that I don't really care if it gets hurt, like radishes. Caius, do this. Technically I had beans, but you know, we'll get to that. I need to get something to cook anyway. Some firewood. Okay, well, I have an action left, so I may as well kind of go into the town map. I've made some pretty significant upgrades to this. But before we get into all of the more involved stuff in game mechanics, we'll just take a stop to the Taverna, which is now partially, and very partially functioning. So basically the left side of this is going to be used for the Mercenary Guild, Labor Guild, and interacting with the Tavern Keeper, who does a lot of different things for you. But those are all not functional right now. Probably put him in not far from now. But the right side is functional. There's basically 3 locations in the tavern that, you know, people might stop by of note, and some of them might offer you a really good deal, some of them might offer to pay you something or a service, some of them might offer to, you know, tell your fortune or something. The predictive ones aren't working right now, but a lot of them are, the wheeling and dealing ones, and there's a few sort of comedic ones in here, so keep an eye on the Taverna. My thought is that once Quintus likes you a little bit more, he'll give you announcements about when visitors come through and not, but, you know, normally you just have to check and think. Oh, that's weird. Guess that's still not working. Well, if that happens, you can just grab the token and get rid of it. I thought I dealt with that. I'll take a look. Alright, so that's the Taverna. There's nobody there right now, so there's nothing we can really do, but you guys remember the market. I've changed quite a bit about the market. Most of the early quests are somewhat easier, more straightforward, and now they actually do give town reputation when you complete them, which does have an in-game effect, which I will get to. And now the towns also send a better variety of goods in smaller amounts each season, and you'll occasionally see stuff that you really want, you know, some reagents, some salt, you know, or firewood, and it kind of varies a little bit more, and there's a maximum. These are meant to kind of be messed with and decayed and taken away by various market events, but those aren't implemented yet, so it's still a really nice stockpile of stuff you can just buy. It won't be quite so easy to just have all this stuff available when all the market mechanics are functioning. But I mentioned that the reputation actually has an effect now, so let's go to one of these towns and take a look at it. I don't know, Harrenhal looks like a likely place. Yeah, you know, clicking on it on the other hand. Alright, view info. So, let's see here. As you can see, it's a pastoral village, which we kind of already knew. I have no reputation here, I'm unknown. And then now, of particular note, is the resident. each town has a resident who's basically like the major person of note that's living in that town, and their opinion of you is tied to the town's opinion of you. And so basically, if that town starts to like you, the resident will begin to do favors for you or unlock specific abilities that they can do for you. So, for example, the Elder Guildsman here is a veteran stonemason, and so the very first thing you can do if you get his town up to 2 reputation with you is you get a construction bonus for all your actions, and as your reputation goes up, that gets better and better. This militia thing is really only going to be for later. None of the combat is working, but that is my plan for the next alpha release, to have the battle system in. How much of it and how much of it's going to be spliced into the map isn't entirely clear yet, but it should be totally functional in some way. Yeah, so this is Maze Secrets. Let's take a look at the other ones. Astoria here. I've got a White Witch. And yeah, if she likes you, she'll actually sell you reagents directly, which is really nice. Nothing rare. If you get to a higher rep, she'll sell you rare reagents. But if you're an initiate like me, this would be really handy. And she gives you a good deal. And then last but not least, Septim here. Let's see. Yep, the Quartermaster. And he actually, if he likes you, he can give you a shipping bonus when you ship to town, like 1, and then 2, and then 3. So if you like to ship goods, and who doesn't, the Quartermaster is a valuable person to have on your side. So with these things in mind now, it should be, you know, a little bit more interesting to figure out what market quests you want to do, because now each of these is for a specific town. And so if you have to make a decision, you can say, well, you know, do I want access to reagents? Do I want a construction bonus? You take a look, and then you try to complete the quest for that specific town because you want that bonus to help you as you go through the game. So it gives you a little more context for stuff. And later on, when I have combat and espionage, and there's going to be other ways to influence the town's reputation. You might be able to, you know, drive off bandits in combat, and then the town will like you better. You might even be able to take over the town if you can muster the forces, and they won't like you, but they'll have to pay you a tribute. And over time, they might grow to like you if you protect them. You know, espionage, you can go in there and do some shady stuff. Maybe they'll like you better, or maybe you can even, you know, make the town like you a lot less, but steal a bunch of money from them or something. So you have to make these calculations. Like if there's a town that you really don't care about, you might, you know, make it hate you because it has nothing you want, and you know you have everything to gain by just looting it or taking it over or something. But that's all for the later game. You can see where I'm going with this. Town reputation is basically gives you these passive or bonuses or specific abilities that really enhance your party and kind of drive you in particular directions. So that is that. And you know, I can't really go over all of these different abilities. It's semi-random. I think I have maybe 6 residents right now. And every game, it picks 3 randomly to put into each of the villages and so forth, the towns. And the difference between the towns as far as reputation goes is that in villages, they're much easier to win over. In fact, me and my brother were discussing, I think we're going to knock it down to only 1 reputation. They're really easy to win over because they're small. But at the same time, also, if you go the other way, they dislike you really quickly, you know, because they're a bunch of, it's a small town. They're suspicious of outsiders, so you, on the other hand, cities are harder to win over, but on the other hand, you can kind of do more shady stuff there, and they kind of tolerate it because they're used to a certain amount of corruption. So the size of the town makes a difference as far as manipulating the reputation goes. The Bard isn't on the map, but the Bard is one of these characters who will, if you get him to a high enough level, will spread stories and kind of boost your reputation at all the towns, or at least keep it from dropping too low. Not all of those things are functional yet. Basically, for each of the residents, the skill of their first tier that you unlock when you get to friendly level with the town, which is 2 at this point. Hopefully 1 for village if I switch it, and then 3 for a city. Yeah, so let's see. That's more or less all of it. I'll keep an eye on the Taverna to see if anything comes up. And then Lydia has this action left. I don't think there's anything at the market that I could ship. I mean, I probably could cheat because I have, well, I can do Scree, I guess. And, you know, I have all this extra stone. I'm not going to need it. I'll sell a bit, get some money, extra reed, and a clay. Oh wait, no, I did the wrong one. Be surprised how often I do that. Maybe it's something I need to change. So, alright, let's see. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1. That's good. A nice profit. Guess I'll just feed everybody up. These storms are making me nervous. Oh, the radishes didn't take any damage. That's good. Let's see. Could plant something, but I won't. I am going to fish, however. Claim this place. Ugh, nothing good. By the way, I don't think this was in the Alpha 2. This is something I did way back, right? You know, kind of like mid between Alpha 2 and 3. Now there's this action tracker in the bottom. You know, there's a little icon of your character and then a color code for how decently they perform the action. And then you can just mouse over to see what happened. So it keeps track of everything that your characters did at the bottom right of the screen in case you want to check or you're curious about, you know, precisely what number you got for something. A much better system than the old one. I think you will agree. Didn't really get much in the way of fish, so I'll try one more time. That's more like it. Now, I upgraded the Kulina, so this would be a good time to show you some of the features of it. Make it a little more firewood, even though that's overkill. And now I'll send in Lydia to take a look. See, so now it's fancier. Yeah. Now if you go to the cookbook, you'll see there are many more choices than there used to be. And I can use the Kulina 2 times instead of 1. I know it said 3, I need to change that. It's 1, 2, and then for the next upgrade it'll be 3, and then the final will be 4. I'm thinking 4 upgrades right now. Certainly not 5, maybe 3. But there's so many recipes I have in mind, I think it would be overkill to unlock them all with 1 more upgrade. So anyway, here you have the stew, which is basically a soup, except it takes 2 different raw foods to make. So it's just better in every way. I also should mention now that I implemented the like the boost for food. If you feed people soup, for example, your whole party will get a bit of resist disease, it says there. You get a bit more for stew. And then this herbal tea, which I'll explain in a second, also gives you a boost. So, let's see. Salad lets you toss 2 vegetables together and get some extra nutrition. And the combo lets you pair up like a meat and a vegetable and firewood. The garlic doesn't work yet. Sorry about that. Anyway, right now I think I'm just going to throw together a stew. Baby, you got a stew going. Fish, raw. Okay, yeah, beans. Okay, so there we go. Using the beans is kind of a waste, but I want to show you. Okay, so there's my stew. And I'll make some herbal tea too, because I wanted to talk about this. These storms, you know, it's a disease-type situation, so I'm going to brew up some tea from some ginseng that will give everybody the benefits of basically 1 ginseng. So I pick some ginseng here, and I have 2 firewood, and I make some ginseng herbal tea. And I'll show you how that works when it's time to eat. I got a lot of reed here. I'm going to make a coat for Lydia, because Arwen's already got that fur. Spread the love. Okay. Alright, so here we are, it's food time. This stew will keep for 1 turn, so I'll leave it alone. Eat these other fish, eat some beans, take 1 more, give Arwen an extra. Save that lavender for tea. Okay, so here's the ginseng herbal tea. Now you'll notice this thing in the old days, it said no special effect, but it didn't do anything. Well now, I mean, it's not perfectly formatted, but it does something now. Watch. Okay, so I'll put in the stew, for example. You see, now it says resist disease, and it puts these 2 onks next to it. These are just like pluses, except there are no pluses in this font, so it's like, eh. But they're actually cooler than pluses, so what are you gonna do? Resist disease, so that it gives you 2, and that means that your whole party is going to get, you know, a boost to resist disease. It's kind of roguelike to not give you the specific numbers. It's kind of like a relative measure. It's like, oh, I see 1 is not as good as 2, 3 is better than 2. So it gives you sort of a vague sense, which is what you would have in real life. You know, you don't know like precisely how much 1 medicine heals you over another in some numerical sense. It kind of gives you like a qualitative scan of it. So, you know, that's like something I borrowed from Dungeon Crawler or other roguelikes where they don't explicitly give you numbers, but will still give you like a scale, an abstract scale to measure things with. Anyway, I don't want to eat this right now. But if I take the ginseng herbal tea, you can see everybody gets this resist disease effect. And, you know, this is all working. Everybody inherits it. Let's heat up. Okay, let's water these radishes. And let's get some wheat going. Now, I think I might mention right now, you may have seen it before or not, I added winter wheat. But before I do that, I just want to say, parsnips, they now, if instead of taking frost damage, they'll sweeten into sugar parsnips, which are more nutritious and valuable. So generally speaking, if you got a free field, and it's not like too barren, you want to put some parsnips down right before frost, and then reap the rewards come spring. But I wanted to mention this winter wheat. This is a mechanic I had in the prototype, but I was like lazy about putting it in. It's not too bad to lack it, but I think you'll see the flexibility it gives you is just really nice. Plus, it's a real thing. There's lots of different kinds of wheat, and I was kind of thinking maybe about having like rye or something else, but that's way down the line. So summer wheat, you already know, it takes 4 months to grow. It's best in the summer, like loam, and it yields, 10 plus all the factors, right? So winter wheat, it takes a long time to grow, 7 months. It yields only 5 more, so I think the winter wheat is really more efficient in terms of pure yield. But the winter wheat does not take frost damage, and so you can plant it and leave it through the winter, and it'll be fine. And it's a great way to sort of extend your sort of crop flexibility and allow you to get wheat going through months that you normally wouldn't be able to. You have to be patient, and it does take up the field for a long time. But I'm going to do summer right now, because there's no reason to do winter. Okay, let's see. Well, I really can't... Oh, well, I'll show this to you. I don't have any rares, but, if you get them in your game... one of the things you can do in the dormitorium now, if you're an initiate, is study spells. Your initiate starts with 4 enchantments just in their brain to start with. Although only 3 are functional right now. So you click on study with the initiate. It brings up the spell book. And so, like I said, 3 of these are functioning. Winter Sun isn't. So I'll talk about the other 3. So Secret Upwelling. Basically, these are enchantments that you cast on tiles, and they have an effect that lasts for a certain number of turns. They're like helping spells. So Secret Upwelling basically enchants a tile to automatically water itself for a certain, for a number of turns based on the success of the spell. Dreamscape means all of the tile resources regenerate much faster, which is really nice if you've really like overhunted or overfished an area. You can cast Dreamscape and it will regenerate. Winter Sun, if it was working, would help protect you from like frost during the winter. Basically, it can be used as a source of heat instead of firewood or charcoal or whatever during the winter months. And then Familiar Spirits is really fancy. It basically enchants a tile to auto-deliver a small amount of a type of resource to your villa at the start of every month. And it can be pretty rare, like if you put it on a Heathlands, you can get some wool, or hides if you put it on, I think it was a forest, wasn't it? Or no, probably a meadow. And so here's the thing, you click on these, right, and then it brings up a recipe. And you need, basically, this is what you need to do it. But once you meet this minimum requirement, you can add more reagents in order to increase the chance of success and like the amount of the length that it will last, basically. But until I get some rares, I can't really show you anymore, so I'll just leave this alone for now. I was gonna study something, but of course I don't have the reagents for it. I'll just get some more ginseng. Oh, I should have brewed tea is what I should have done. Oh well, Lydia can do it. Let's do some lavender tea, make everybody awesome. What is it that I needed at the market anyway? I can haul some more scree, that wouldn't be too bad. Radishes, oh well that's lucky. Alright, well... I think I'm actually going to survey. Ah, fantastic. A farmland that when it's cleaned will be Elysian quality. That will definitely help me out. Alright, let's have that lavender herbal tea. So you can see here it's luck up. That just means all your rolls are a little bit better. All your rolls are a little bit better. Bowls? Well, maybe. I gotta eat this fish stew. You can see I got that disease resistant there from that, which is good because Lydia just got sick. Although, I'll give her some ginseng too. I should mention that the tea effect does not stack with the individual herb effect. So if you have both, it's redundant. Like if you give everybody lavender tea, there's no point in giving anybody lavender. But if you give them a different herb, you can have the effects of both of them. Later on, the witch class is going to be able to brew potions or essences, which double the effect of herbs. You can just administer them directly, but again, that's somewhat down the line. I'm going to overfeed to give Lydia a bit more here. Alright, those radishes are done. Let's have Lydia pull them. Definitely going to want to ship some of those. I'll have Caius water this and then go to the market. 5 radishes to you, 5 scree to you. Not too shabby. Want some firewood. Guess I'll just chop some here. Now, let's talk about another upgrade. The Factorium, it has to have some stuff that I can actually use for it. I'm just trying to think. These studios. You can upgrade the Factorium, which adds the ability to add more studios. Basically, I'll show you. You can see at the bottom here when you mouse over one of these studios, it says Studio Space Left 2, and that's based on the upgrade level. Every time you upgrade the Factorium, you can add 2 more different studios. At the end of the game, there's actually going to be 3 or 4 more different ones, and they're all upgradable. Well, most of them are upgradable too. I don't have any of the upgrades in. But let's see if any of these would be relevant to me right now. Well, if I build a mine, it seems like a good idea. Well, I'll build a smelter in preparation for getting a mine. So a smelter lets you extract copper from ore, and you need a certain amount of ore and a pretty decent chunk of firewood, and then you get copper out of it. And copper isn't useful until you upgrade the smithy to the next level, but this is all part of showing you the new Factorium, so I can show you the concept of it right now. Well, actually, no, I can't, not until I upgrade it. Alright, I think that'll be it for that. Now, technically, I'd like to avoid eating radishes, but oh, she's still sick, it's amazing. More ginseng for ye! Must be working her too hard. Maybe I'll have a rest this round. Pull off on the food. Keep it light. I'm probably going to need to plant radishes again to finish that quest. Okay, I'm going to have her water these. And then the other thing you can do in the dormitorium is rest. See? Lydia takes a snooze at the dormitorium. Pleasant dreams. So basically when you rest, it pulls off, it reduces your disease chance, you know, which also includes recovery. It reduces your, or increases your wound recovery. Wounds aren't in yet, but that's important. And it also reduces your fatigue, which is basically extra disease chance you get from working too much or in difficult conditions. I use it to replace the old overwork system. It's all implied, but when you see items that say resist fatigue or recover fatigue, it deals with those. So anyway, I rested Lydia in the hopes that that'll help her get over this cold. This farmland silt's still looking pretty good. I guess I'll throw down some more radishes, because I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Technically, no. Can't get them there. I'm going to claim this land. It's Elysian. I guess I'll throw down some more wheat. I mean, it's going to be a lot. It'll set me up good for a while. Yeah, I'm gonna lose 6. I'm only gonna be able to ship 5 anyway. So I can eat 3 of them. Ship the other 5. Ah, Lydia got over a cold. Good. Gonna give her another ginseng and pop her up a level. That looks good. Alright, I got a lot of watering to do. Lydia's... You know, I thought I was gonna have Caius do the agriculture, and it ended up being Lydia. Oh well. I usually find the sick person ends up doing all the watering, because I don't have to roll for it. It's like, I don't feel very well. It's like, oh good, good. You just volunteered. Nothing more. Oh, well, Caius, you can do 1, I guess. Actually, no. Abort that. Let's see. I think I'd like him to brew some lavender herbal tea. Because I can. and then ship. I'm kind of aiming to have him be a rancher, have him focus on husbandry actions. Heron Hall. It's gonna like me now. How you like me now? Pretty good. So you can see I'm up to reputation 1. So if I get 1 more reputation, Mason's secrets will be mine. Oh, and let's see what's happening at the taverna. An herbalist. Ooh, that's good news. Although he won't give me rares, but I'll show you how this works. The whispered prayers of thanks coming from the dark corner of the tavern is the mendicant who isn't working. She actually will heal one of your party members for food. Really legit. But, as I said, not working, so why did I tell you that? Okay, so let's check out the herbalist. The herbalist smiles briefly. I can see you are interested in my medicines. In truth, I need these for a large order, but I could sell you some of my surplus reagents. I'll give you all my extras for 60 cents. I had at least 6 when I checked last. So yeah, these visitors, they'll usually give you a straight-up offer of one kind or another. I'll take that one. I swear to God I fixed the visitors, but they're still giving me grief, so anyway. If it's supposed to go right to that. But if it does it once, just click no. Otherwise, it's an exploit where you can click it over and over again. Fun, right? So anyway, yeah, so for 60 cents he gave me this assortment of ingredients including salt, which is great for cooking. So I'm probably going to take another look at that visitor thing before I upload it. It's been quite annoying to deal with, to be honest. Alright, I don't really need to cook. Maybe I should change that. I don't know how I'm going to do for hunting. Maybe I can get some fish. Yeah, not too bad. Gotta clean these. Oh, and you see this? You can only brew 1 herbal tea each turn. You can't take 2 anyway, so it'd be redundant, but you can only just brew 1 to completely remove the issue. By the way, I may or may not get around to building a bakery, but I added the pie as well, which lets you add a wheat and another kind of ingredient together. Filling. It's not any kind of food, it's specific kind of like pie type foods. And you can't add salt to it, but it gives it a nice nutrition boost. And it lets you use up spare wheat without baking bread, which is, 2 wheat. Yeah, what the heck do I want to make, though? I guess I'll probably just have to make some soup. And I'll put some salt in it, because I haven't. And remember, salt makes it last an extra turn. Quite handy. Take that lavender tea, leave the soup alone, eat that. Lydia gets a little more. Okay. Looks like Lydia's back to watering. Maybe she'll have an alternative that doesn't suck. I mean, not that the gardener isn't totally great, because, I mean, as many people will tell you, they are. I have enough money to, like, buy a goat or something. It might be worth doing. Got those radishes coming. I could try to get some great meat, just in the hopes that I could ship enough. It's unlikely, but you never know. Actually, maybe I'll go to the... No, I'll go back to the forest again. Ugh. Come on, lavender tea. I'm gonna have her overwork. Try again. Oh, sadness. Regular meat. Yeah, not so good. Oh, I got some blood moss, though. Well, I got the rares, but unfortunately it's for the one stupid enchantment that isn't working. I could actually use it, since I'm low on... Well, not that low. Somewhat low on firewood. Alright, let's see what we got here. 2 for the hungry garrison. I might hold on to the blood moss just for heat. Might be really cold. Hold on to these reagents. Let's see. Oh, see, they're selling bread. Isn't that nice? Some more salt. They have copper ore. I can put that through my smelter without ever building a mine. Sure, why not? The market will solve our problem, although I really only need 4. Well, actually, I'm gonna need more than that, but the hell with it. Okay. Fish soup's still good to go. I'm not gonna waste any lavender. Just leave it alone. I'll tell you one thing I need is firewood though in quantity. I'm gonna chop up some of this timber for that. Oh, let me show you this now. Okay, so manufactory can hold up to 4 different studios and allows focused processing, which gives a better goods conversion ratio. And I can actually demonstrate this to you now because I have something to do it with. Okay, so here's the upgraded manufacturer, and you go to Use Studio, right? So I have the usual chopped firewood and smelt copper ore. Alright, now finally I added it so it tells you what you get, what the ratio is. Right, so chopping firewood normally converts 3 timber to 6 firewood if you spend 1 action on it. Now that I have the manufactory, the upgraded one, I can switch to focused. And with focused, I can get a slightly better conversion. You see, 5 timber to 12 firewood. I get a discount of 1 timber. Nothing fantastic, but there are other items that give you a boost to this as well. A timber axe, or the woodsman's axe, which is an upgrade. So, let's see, you can see that there, and then by the same token here, you need 4 copper ore and 6 firewood to get 2 copper. Now there's a formatting problem here, but 5, 8, 12 to 5. Yeah, just the first one on this. I don't know where that junk data is coming from. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So, I could do this. Does this actually take 5? Oh wow, that's lucky. Yeah. But no, it doesn't. It takes 8. That's my point. But it's like junk data. Oh well. So I'm gonna do this actually once I have enough ore to do the focused action. Right now I just wanted to grab these crops. Ugh. I'm gonna have to overwork just to water these things. Guys, he's busting his hump. More firewood, I think, would be advisable. Ugh, running low on that. Damn it, I should have shipped those radishes. Still, it won't matter. Molten fish soup. Gaius is sick. Yeah, that overworking did him in. Should have given him some roux. Forgot I had some. Criminy. Yeah, let's feed everybody up here. Ginseng. There's really no reason to give her that. Give her some labs. Give her some labs. Alright. There's that wheat. Guys can water that. Try to avail himself. No, actually, I'm just gonna chop some wood. Chop some wood. I think I'm gonna plant some parsnips, as I implied before would be a good idea. Oh my god. Am I going to be able to hold on to 4 radishes? I think I am. At least 3, that's all I need. Tough times. Oh, ha. I can gank some from this to make up for it. Sweet. I get started on a mine. I wanted to show you that situation. So first you gotta dig a stone pit. Once the stone pit is in, it will tell you whether there's marble or copper available. And if there's marble or copper, you can build a quarry or mine, respectively. Mountains always contain ore. At this point, there's only copper ore, but iron is going to come later in the game. Whereas copper can, or marble can be found in heathlands, I think ash plains, meadows, that sort of thing. Heathlands have a preference for copper, meadows have a preference for marble. I think ash, not ash plains. Something always has marble. It might be ash plains actually. Anyway, that's it for that turn, I believe. Sub-Zero. Yeah, nasty. Alright, I'm going to actually pull off a bunch of this and spend my blood moss. And then yeah, I should be able to hold on to 3 radishes, that's all I need. Give Caius a little more, give him some ginseng. I'd like to brew up some ginseng tea, actually, it's getting pretty cold. Nice. I guess I could see if I can get any more meat. It's gonna be difficult. Not the right kind. I need better meat than that. Nope, nope. Really unlikely to happen in Sub-Zero anyway. I'm gonna grab some... No, I'm not gonna grab firewood. Chop firewood. You know, I really need timber, actually. I've been kind of going through it. Tea. More timber. Alright, that's that. A little more stone, I guess. Stone to read. About the wheat. Ooh, you got the double weave shawl, you can overwork. Ooh, that is a lot of wheat. That makes you want to build a bakery. Up, there's my sugar parsnips. Yay. Oh, ginseng. Gonna need that. And there's some meat, some beans. Yeah, I'm gonna go nuts. Gives you some lavender. Gives you a boss. So 11 firewood gone. Sub-Zero's nasty. I think I'm going to build a bakery after all. Although first, while I still have the clay, I'm going to build the upgraded Fabrica. Okay, so I don't know how familiar you are with this stuff here. I've added a few things. There's a flint sickle. This helps you with crop handling. Comb and brush helps you with animals. Just a few minor things to kind of round out the selection of initial tools. I don't think I added anything else. Just those. So anyway, what happens is now if you can spend 15 stone and 15 clay, you can upgrade the Fabrica. When you do this, it unlocks a lot of new things that you can craft. Including the concept of like basically upgradable ones. So you can see here this is the Pescus Trident, and it requires the barbed spear as one of its ingredients to make. So first you have to make the barbed spear, and then you need other things to upgrade it into the Pescus Trident. The same logic applies to this hunting bow to the tracker's bow, and this timber axe to the woodsman's axe. This heavy scythe is actually not an upgrade of the flint cycle because it uses metal, not stone. But you get the idea. A lot of these things here require copper to make, or in this case a hilt, which is made of copper, and then clay and firewood. You see, the thing about bronze or copper, I'm kind of torn on this. We kind of want to put bronze in there. I'm not really sure, but it would have been bronze historically. It's like not that hard to make. They would have known the metallurgy. They could have gotten some tin to put in there. So maybe I'll have tin. It's kind of cool. But in any case, copper is interesting because you don't have to forge it like iron. You don't have to kind of beat it into a sword shape. They would actually cast it. They would make a clay mold that kind of looked like a sword blade, and then they would just pour the molten copper into the clay mold, and then whatever they needed to do to cool it. I'm sure there was a particular process. They didn't just let it sit there. Maybe they did. Probably the temperature which it cooled made a difference in terms of how hard it was and so forth. I mean the speed at which it cooled. So, luckily for you, you don't need charcoal to deal with copper items, but you do need a pretty decent amount of firewood. So you can see here, like this heavy scythe, you need 4 firewood and 2 clay to make the molds for the copper that goes into this. For iron, you'll need charcoal, but you won't need any clay because you're not using molds. So, you know, you'll just have to experiment and try these out. A lot of these items are pretty decent. The fishing net isn't working, but everything else is, I believe. There's also a lot of other new things. Here I have an embroidered coat that gives you bonus to charisma and politics, although charisma and politics aren't quite working yet. Charisma's almost in. And then politics is just a specific boost to roles or quests involving political stuff. You know, because politicians are shallow. You're dressed nicely. Alright, so, armor cloth mantle. Let's see. Yeah, and this one is basically would help you with fighting, but fighting's not quite in yet. But these are sort of upgraded clothings. The same goes for cloaks. There's a druid garb. It's kind of like a cloak that gives you heat resistance and fatigue resistance. I mean cold resistance. And you can stack it up with furs to really resist cold. And then there's also this willow grade coat, which is like an upgraded version of the reed overcoat, and in fact requires it. And a couple of new accessories here too. Craftsman tools, which don't really do anything right now. Survival rations, those do work. They give you a boost to resist starvation. So basically they're consumed, and you get half the chance for it to happen. If you survive, they worked, and if you don't, well, you still try to eat them. The willow frame pack. Actually, a lot of these accessories aren't really implemented now that I look at it. This willow frame pack lets you equip an extra tool, and then you get the benefits of it as if you had it equipped also. That's not working. And if I had a tailor, they would also have a... No, I don't have any of the new tailor stuff in yet. Yeah, so that's it. So that's the new stuff, and you can play around with that and make all these more advanced tools using copper and so forth, because... Oh, ha! I probably should build a mine. So, here's my stone pit. Yeah. Since copper's available, I can construct a mine for 20. There it is. And just to show you how it works, I'll have her gather some more. There we go. I don't think that's gonna be enough. I only got one more. Alright. It's not so good. Let's see if anything's swinging at the tavern. Oh, it's the cabbage fanatic. But first, let's visit this dude. Much to your dismay, it seems a village idiot has wandered in and is pouring some wine in his ear. The idiot addresses you directly, and you thank. You own player 1, fine sir / madam. This will all be a game in the mind. Press A, B, start, select, start, he screams, dancing in circles. You walk away, shaking your head sadly. Right. Again, because this thing is completely messed up, it's like not working. I don't understand how, but it has to do with the way that Unity is able to delete its own things that it's running through loops. It's preposterous. I'm sure there's an incredibly easy solution that I'm just not aware of. I've had to deal with this sort of thing before. Well, the tavern's broken, so hooray. Alright. I just wanted to get through this year. A little more firewood would be in order. Ugh, everyone is sick. Everyone's running out of food. Gotta keep it lean. Sorry, folks. So hungry. So cold. Everybody rest. Let's do a little gathering. I'm trying to get some food. Oh, thank God. Alright, everybody else. Just rest. Whew. Alright, let's see what happens. God, storms. At least Lydia got over it. No ginseng. Just feed everybody up. Ugh, I think I'm gonna take those parsnips now. I'm pretty desperate. Still got enough wheat. Ice is gonna level. Lydia will also level. Alright, I'm gonna see if she can get 2 copper ore at a shot here. Yeah! That means that you can now do the focused version of smelt copper ore. If I don't have enough firewood, no, I need 1 more. Predictably! I got that covered. No, I don't, because I don't have enough timber. Classic! Alright. Let's try this again. There we go. So you can see I got 4 copper out of that. And with copper I can do all kinds of fun things, like craft hilts, for example. I'll make some now. Oh. Actually, don't have enough clay. I mean, firewood. Alas! How about some ginseng? Level up. Take herbology. Yep, gardener ranger, gardener ranger. Let's range it up. Foraging for you, and then you'll guard it up. You take adaptation. Ah, willow. How fortunate. I can tell you all about willows now. Just as soon as I finish this. Everybody, wow, Gaius is quite sick. Hang in there, guy. Maybe I can get you a raincoat or something. Sounds like a plan. Oh. Here, I know what to do. I'll craft him a coat and then he can rest. Alright, so you can see here these mountains have some greenery growing on them. It means, what the heck? It's already a woods? Man, I'm experiencing confusion. No, that's just okay. It's a text thing. Alright. The woods is incorrect. Right now they're saplings. It should say willow saplings. So, next turn they'll actually, assuming they don't die, they will mature into actual willows. And then I can show you how that works. But basically, willows are a special type of forest that can superimpose themselves on other tiles, and there's a slight chance of it happening every turn. And it's sort of like a chance that gets higher and higher every turn based on how much claimed land you have that willows are able to spawn in. And once it happens, that boost counter gets set back to 0. So there's sort of a constantly roaming cycle of willows popping up. And depending on where they pop up, they have a greater or lesser chance of surviving from being saplings into adults. And once they're adults, they become like a woods of specific health. You can take willows from them. Like take willow, and each time you do that, the health of the forest diminishes until it collapses. So it's like an ephemeral forest that you have to be able to take advantage of when it shows up. More food. I want to survey too, because this is just getting ridiculous. I'm gonna plant me something. Some beans, maybe. Oh, that's right. This was Elysian. What some beets? And an attempt to get some more medicine. Yeah, the willows matured. Oh, the beets are damaged. That's a surprise. Damn, son. I'm gonna have Gaius rest twice. I don't know what his deal is. Just take it easy, son. Okay, well, amazingly, I have a bit of willow here, so I can show you. Gather willow. Very valuable and also useful for crafting some of this stuff here. You can see the tracker's bow requires willow. I also think the trekking pole requires willow. Oh no, it doesn't. Maybe it should. Okay. I think I've pretty much covered most of what I wanted to show you. Yeah, sorry about that. I think I've covered most of what I want to show you. The clean-in recipes, factorial processing, the craft recipes, winter wheat. The only thing I couldn't show you were the enchantments, because I didn't get any rares. I don't have any meadows that are free right now. Let's see, Taverna and Residence, yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't ever actually show you any of those residence skills, but you can kind of investigate them for yourself. It's not a big deal. They're all working. Yeah, they're all working. They all have various effects, and I think you'll have fun discovering how they interact with the rest of your game and help you out. So, yeah, other than the enchantments, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to show you for this alpha, so, I hope you enjoy exploring all of these new features, and I'm really looking forward to your feedback, because it's only going to keep going up from here. So, until next time, this is Chris Crooks signing off. Remember, everybody, live carefully and game recklessly.